So guys, just before starting the session, just let me introduce myself. Just a brief introduction about me. So just 2 minutes. I just don't want to put more time on me. So this is about myself, guys. Here I was Vamsi Krishna. So I'm having around almost 19 years of experience in the training, support, and development part. So I worked with all the three different. My specialization is on three different areas like trainings, development, and support. My complete specialization is on the data related technologies. So I have been worked on database management, database admin, business intelligence, big data systems. So and now I was working on the data science, the data science techniques like AI, ML, DL, NLP, etc., etc. So that is the basically the main reason why I was moved into the data science. So that made me move towards the data science because completely I was into the data science itself. So completely the data related technologies. So I was not from Java or something like any programmatical part. So I know have complete expertise on the data. So how to look into the data, how to handle the data, what are the different technologies to handle the data, process the data, and all these things actually. So my main experience including management, processing, and analyzing of large volumes of business data. And I was also certified from IIIT Hyderabad on a certification program on ANML from IIIT Hyderabad around in 2019. I completed that. So this is just a brief introduction about myself. Okay, so fine. So today is actually the first introduction part, the first demo session on this the course of full stack data science. So I don't want to. That means within the first session, the main part of the main agenda of the demo session is basically to make you understand like what exactly data science, what we do in the data science, and like what are the different techniques, technologies that we are going to learn. And you guys are having a different doubts like can I fit into the data science or so without having any programmatic knowledge, can I learn the data science? So can I move from the existing domain or existing technology to the data science? So you guys are going to be having a different questions based on that. So basically the main agenda for this demo classes, the demo sessions are basically to give some idea of like how that particular data science, what the data science is going to contain, what are the things we are going to learn, so that you will get some a kind of an understanding and a clarity about about this particular data science conception. So as you know that our course name, whatever the name, the main title of the course is going to be a full stack data science actually. So we are going to call the course as a full stack data science. First of all, so many guys are having some, just give me a second guys. Just a minute once guys, just give me a second. Just give me a second. Yeah, right guys. Fine. So our whatever the course title which we are going for is going to be nothing but it's a full stack data science course actually guys. It's going to be a full stack data science. So first let me explain what is nowadays almost all everywhere we are hearing about this particular title called as an full stack. So full stack UI, full stack engineer, FSE, full stack UI, full stack Java, or something like they are talking about a full stack Python. Everywhere they are talking about a full stack actually. So what is meaning of a full stack? So many people will have a doubt about that. Still, so many guys do not have any much clarity about what is meaning of a full stack basically. So basically, full stack is nothing but the term generally we are going to use as actually guys. Like for example, we know that. So whether you are having some any prior experience on any software technology, or if you are working, those guys are having some idea about what is generally a project lifecycle actually. So as part of the technology we are using, as part of the domain we are using, so you will be using a different types of different stages in a particular project cycle. So that is what we call it as a project life cycle, what we are going to call it as. So whenever we talk about a project life cycle from end to end, that means from one end to the beginning to ending, what we can say that is from one end to the other end. While we are developing the project from end to end applications, then we are going to require some different techniques, different technologies, or different expertise are going to be gets required. So single person cannot handle the project. So for example, you're working on a Java project, so we require some different types of expertise that are going to be gets required actually, depending on what techniques or what technologies we are going to be using. So you may require a different expertise that are required. For example, if you are developing some kind of an simple to say that, so whenever we are developing some kind of an a website we are developing, so we require some kind of an UI developer is required, a backend developer is going to be required. So many other guys are going to be gets required. So nowadays we have got some other frameworks, etc., etc. So being the companies has to hire one person for UI, one person for backend. Mainly we can see this actually, guys. Nowadays, you can see the people who are learning the Java, they're also learning some kind of a database also that are learning. Like there are learning some databases like Oracle, or even some kind of a NoSQL kind of databases like MongoDB, etc., etc. So why these guys are required? Why these people are requiring all these kind of skills? Like because as of the current market requirement, as part of the current enterprise requirements, so they're looking for the people who are having some idea about all the skills actually. So instead of hiring one person on front end, one person on the back end, one person on some other, so what they are doing here is, so let us look at for the people who is having multiple skills actually. So whenever we give the work, or whenever we have been assigned the work at any level, whether I assign a UI, whether I assign a front end, whether I assign a back end, or whether I assign a other frameworks, the guys has to the guys has to work at any kind of a level actually. So that's why end to end. So from whenever we are working on a particular project life cycle, so at end to end, whatever the different expertise that are going to be required, so everything they should be known about that. They need not to be an expertise on that. At least if they have some idea about that. Like for example, a UI developer has to require some earlier, the UI developer do not have any idea about something like a database knowledge. They do not have any knowledge about a database. So whenever they want to work with a database, or if they want to have to work with a database, immediately they have to go to a database developer or a database programmer, and then they have to ask them, so I want this requirement, so please can you give me a query for that. So nowadays what the companies are looking for, why not a new developer has to learn the database itself, so that he can solve for complicated work, a database developer will come. But for a small applications also, so instead of looking for a database developer expertise, why can't you solve the problem by yourself? So that is the from where this full stack concept has been came actually. That is the way they have been got this particular a full stack terminology has been got derived actually. So even in our course, like what is our course title is going to be full stack data science. So maybe you have been already, that means before attending this demo session, at least you have been done some search or some kind of an searching in the internet actually. So like what is data science and why we plan to learn the data science. So you may be having some kind of an, you may be heard about, or you maybe have been done some kind of a search on this particular data science. So you guys may find it a different terminologies, a different topics. Like they will be having a lot of topics. So whenever I say data science, somebody talks about machine learning, somebody talks about deep learning, and somebody says that NLP, somebody says that AI, data visualization, Power BI, or Tableau. They are talking about a multiple technologies and multiple skills that are going to be gets talking about that. So really, they may be you guys maybe have been worried about that. Like, what is really a data science actually? Absolutely, data science is going to be contain so many core concepts are going to be there. We can say that there are so many core concepts and so many sub contents are going to be there as part of this particular data science. So mainly as part of the data science, there are so many. Let us talk about what is full stack data science later. First, let us concentrate on this particular data science actually. So data science is going to be being we are having in. So as part of the data science, we are going to be having mainly three different core areas we are having. Mainly I'm talking about that. Like one is going to be what we are going to call it as a machine learning, which we are going to call it as a simple, we are going to call it as an ML. You may be heard about that. When you open data science, the first terminology that comes is going to be nothing but it's a machine learning actually. That is going to be nothing but what we are going to call it as about the machine learning, what we are going to be gets talking about them. So once the machine learning, after machine learning, you will be having another concept, what we are going to call it as n, which is going to be what we are going to say that it is going to be deep learning actually, which we are going to call it as an ADL, what we can say that actually. So machine learning, deep learning, these are the two common things which we can generally find out basically. Generally, we are going to be finding mainly about this particular two topics, what we are going to be gets doing this actually. So apart from that, now, apart from that, it is going to be, we are having something called as, which is going to be in AI, which is basically what we know that, which is going to be the artificial intelligence actually, which is going to be what we are going to call it as the artificial intelligence. It is going to be the artificial intelligence, which is what we are going to call it as, which is going to be AI actually. So these are going to be mainly the main topics, which are going to be the main topics, what we are going to be gets using them. Apart from that, there are so many other core areas are going to be there actually. Yes, Amit, you can leave. Okay. So it is going to be some kind of an artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning. These are going to be the main concepts which we are going to be gets working with that particular applications actually. But making you understand all the three in a single day is not possible. So just generally our class is from 7 a.m. to which is going to be 8:30 a.m. actually. So generally in the first initial classes, we don't take that much time because it's a very clear, it's only just like a demo sessions only, so we don't take that much time. But I'm not going to be waste the time. So by discussing something unnecessary topics, so completely related to that only, but it's going to take some time actually. It's like, what do you mean to say deep learning? What do you mean to say artificial intelligence? To understand that, it's going to take some time actually. So first, let us start with the first important concept, what we are going to call it as, which is going to be what we are going to call it as a machine learning, what we are going to call it as actually. So what do you mean to say about machine learning actually? Okay. So first in the today's demo session, I'm going to make you understand what is going to be the machine learning actually. Just an idea, like what do you mean to say machine learning, what we do with the machine learning, just an ideas about those particular techniques we learn it actually. So nowadays, even this data science has been became very popular. Nowadays, even everybody is not learning about that, but everybody is talking about the machine learning. So they already, because everybody who is into the technology, so they're looking into them, like what different type of what are the different techniques or what are the different technologies that are coming. Even they are not related to that, they are start learning about that, and they are trying to understand about that, like what is AI, so why AI is becoming very popular, what is deep learning, what is machine learning. So many of you have been already started learning a lot of YouTube videos as there. Somebody has got understood about that. Somebody may not be able to understand that. At least some few takeaways may be there actually. A few takeaways from that particular, a few takeaways are going to be there from that particular, whatever the YouTube videos or any online search we have been got that. So maybe nowadays, everybody is talking about that. First of all, let me clarify from my side also. As an expert on the data science, let me explain some, let me give some clarity about that action. What is machine learning basically? The term machine learning itself is saying that yes, machines are able to learn. Machine learning. So we are not learning. Humans are not learning from the machines. Humans won't learn from the machines. Machines are going to learn by themselves. By themselves means they are not automated process, but with the help of some humans only it is going to learn. Without a human, machines can't learn it actually. Like just like our school days. So without a teacher, we can't learn. We didn't went to the school and didn't learn automatically by ourselves actually. So machine learning is also very closer to, which is almost all very similar to, which is going to be the human learning actually. How the human learns, same as it is, the machines also going to be. Nowadays, the computer experts has thought, when the humans are learning, why not the machines are able to learn? Yes, machines are also able to start learning about that. I'll tell you about all that history and about all these things in the coming classes actually. Yes, machines are able to learn it actually, guys. So what is machine learning is a very simple technique to understand. In a simple process, if you want to understand, machines are going to learn, but how the machines are going to learn? So give some data to the machines. Machines are going to understand that particular data. That means machines are going to learn from that particular data. Whatever it has been got learned, we are going to call them as an insights. We are going to call them as an insights. What we are going to call it as insights are nothing but the knowledge what they have been got from the data actually. So data was given to the machine. Machines are capable to, machines are able to understand the data, and based on that particular understanding or learning, basically we can do some kind of a prediction actually. Basically based on that, we are going to be doing some kind of a prediction. So data was given to the machines. Machines are able to learn the data. Machines will learn from the data, and whatever it has been understood or whatever the knowledge it got, we call it as an insights. Based on the insights, we are going to do some kind of a prediction. Like for example, let us say that, for example, a simple example, let me take a small example. For example, if somebody asks you or somebody asks any one of you saying that today, will it rain or will it does not rain actually. So I want to know whether today, whether it is going to be rain will be there. Today's whether it will be rain is equal to S or whether the rain is equal to no. So whether today it will rain or does not rain. That is what we want to find it off. That is what we want to find. So basically to decide whether or to predict whether it is going to be. So I want to predict today whether it will rain or not. So how do you do some kind of a predictions? It's not like we'll toss a coin. If the result is going to be a head, it will be rain. Or if the result is going to be a tail, it does not rain. We don't do that kind of an experiment. But generally, how do you take a decision? If somebody asks you or somebody asks anyone, so to find out whether it will rain or not, what they are going to do is that actually, can you predict today it will rain or not? So first thing what we are going to do is from the last 2 days or last 10 days, for example. So how the weather conditions are going to be from the last 10 days, how the weather condition was there. For example, from the last 10 days, every day it was raining actually. Every day it was raining. From the last 10 days, if I see, every day at some particular point of time, it is getting some kind of a raining is coming actually. So based on that, I can say that from the last 10 days, so from the last 10 days, every day there was raining is there. So 90% chances that, I cannot say that 100% chances that, but 90% chances that it is going to be gets raining actually. But on what basis it is doing some kind of a prediction actually? It is just taking some what has been happened in the past. So what has been happened in the past? So generally how the humans are going to take a decisions. So apart from that, like you can talk about so many real life examples. So for example, a person want to travel from his home, from his house to his office actually. He has to travel from his house to his office. So which route he has to take? Which route he has to take it actually? So the person does not blindly follows a single route actually. So he knows a different routes how to travel. So depending on his past experience, for example, if I start at home at morning 9 a.m. So like how the traffic conditions are going to be there. So depending on some kind of a traffic conditions, he is going to chooses a different routes he is going to chooses. Maybe at morning 9 a.m. traffic will be heavy. So he will chooses which is going to be some other route he is going to chooses actually, which may be a long route, but which is going to be nothing but it may be a shorter time actually. It is going to take say a shorter time. Maybe for example, if I start at 11 a.m., let us say that depending on the traffic conditions, maybe the traffic will be less. So he's going to take the shortest route, he's going to take it actually. But how this person comes to know that to take which route he has to take in which conditions, it is depending on his past experience, isn't it? So you do not have any sixth sense to identify that actually. So if I start at 9 a.m., depending on, so from the last 10 days he was traveling in the same route he was traveling. But whenever I start at 9 a.m., the traffic is going to be very heavy. It's taking a long time. But if I start at 11 a.m., the traffic is going to be less. It is going to be taking a less time. So depending on his past experience, he's going to be gets decides actually. So for a machine learning, the basis is going to be the same thing actually. And you know that every technology or every concept that was developed in the real life is inspired from our real life events only, isn't it? So every technology that was developed is going to be inspired from it was derived from the human life experience only. With our experience only, we are developing it actually. So machine learning is also about the same concept as it is. So we have some data with us. We have some data with us. That data was given to the machine. Machine will study the data actually. So tell me in the last 10 days, what are the different weather conditions? And tell me in which weather conditions it was rain. In which weather conditions it didn't rain actually. That means, for example, let us talk about for example, how was the temperature actually? Temperature was, for example, it was cool. Let us say day one, the temperature was cool. Let us say the wind is going to be, how was the winds actually? The winds are going to be strong. So whether it is going to be rain or not, whether it was rain or not, rain was S. So day two, let us say the temperature is going to be not cool, but it is going to be mild temperature. The winds are going to be weak. Let us say that the rain is going to be no. Day three, for example, it is going to be something like hot, and the winds are going to be something like and strong. But that was, let us say that was rain actually. So if I give all the data like that to the machines, like for example, 10 days I have been got given the data. Let us say something like a mild, which is going to be strong, and let us say that there by rain was a S. Now, once if I give that 10 days data like that, so on the 11th day, if I give the weather conditions, let us tell me today whether let us say that the temperature was hot and the wind is going to be weak, the machine is going to tells you whether it will rain or does not rain actually. It does not looks at any something like any weather reports. It does not gets any data from the weather reports or something like that, or any satellite images or something like that. So depending on the today's temperature and today's depending on the wind conditions, it is going to predict whether it will rain or not. Hope you got the point actually, guys. So the 10 days data it will analyze. That 10 days data it will analyze. It will understand this data actually. So this is going to be the data which is going to be analyzed by the machine, by the computer, or by the machine it is going to analyze this. It understands this data. In which conditions the rain was there, in which condition the rain was not there, it will easily identify that. It will learn from the data actually. It will learn from the data. So based on that particular analysis done by the machine, so today's on the 11th day, the temperature was hot, the wind was weak. So it will tell you whether that particular today, whether it will be raining will be S or whether the raining is going to be no actually. So something like that, we can understand this kind of a machine learning example, what we can talk about that. So it is all about some kind of a predictive analysis. It is going to be all about which is going to be something like a predictive analysis is going to be what is happening actually, guys. It's a predictive analysis. So predict what is going to happen in the future. So depending on the past, what has been happened actually. So you can talk about a lot of examples actually. How it will be done, all these things technically we'll see that. Just I'm giving some idea like what is machine learning and how it is going to be gets done. I'm talking about that. Okay. So the machine was able to, because the data was not that, it's not that much simple data to understand. In this example, the data may be a very small data actually. Just the whether today it will rain or not. It depending on the temperature, it depends on the winds. But in real time, there are so many factors are going to be there actually. It does not just depends on two factors and based on that we can't decide it. And data was also not that much easily interpretable. We cannot understand the data that much easily. So that's why all these techniques and technologies has been came to make the data to be understandable and interpretable in an easy way actually. So once you apply, that means once if you try to apply, once you try to apply this same thing in the real business scenarios when you talk about them. When you talk about, so the raining condition is not a business scenario actually, but whenever we talk about some kind of a real time and a business scenarios, if we talk about them, we can talk about multiple examples we can talk about. So one of the best example I can explain you is going to be nowadays, as you know that how the telecom services has been got changed. We have been seen a complete change how it was seen actually, guys. So it has been started around in 2016, if I remember, around in 2016, and it was started actually, yes, and maybe around 2016, absolutely. So at the time, you know that before 2016, we have so many, we are having so many mobile service providers are there. Most popular are going to be like Airtel, and we are having Idea, and we are having a Vodafone. So many are there actually, guys, and as well as which is going to be something like as usually BSNL, and so many are there actually. So even if I talk about something like, I don't know whether you have been seeing these or not, Aircel used to be there actually, like that. So many are there actually, etc., etc. I'm talking about. So what has been happened, how the telecom operators used to earn, it used to be very costly, at least some years back. So the telecom services are a little bit costly. Now they have become very cheaper. So previously we don't have this kind of an unlimited calling and all these things. We don't have it at that time actually. Before 2016, approximately at that time. So we don't have any such kind of a free calling, unlimited callings. We don't have it actually. So we have to pay. We used to do some different recharges. If you want to pay per a second, we have to do some, apart from the actual recharge, we have to do some kind of a top ups. We have to do that. So all these used to be there actually. So around 2016, what has been happened, we know that. So Jio has been came into the market actually. At the time, really, these companies are going to be at huge profits at the time. So Jio has been came initially, I think somewhere around September or something, at almost all. Initially, they said that for 3 months it is going to be free. Completely, the first 3 months they have been given free. Like I think somewhere around October, November, December. So completely it was free actually. So free SIM card, and you are going to get the services at a free of cost. So all services at free of cost initially for 3 months of time. So what these companies has been done is, all these companies has been got done is, immediately what they thought is, okay, 3 months initially they are giving the free, no? After 3 months, we are going to, we'll think about our customers actually. So slowly the customers started moving from, once the Geo has been released, this particular offer, immediately the Airtel has been, the customers from Airtel and some Vodafone and some, all these particular company service providers has been moved to the Geo. Some customers has been got moved. So what these companies also thought is, okay, we are just, so only some few customers are going no. So let us wait for 3 months of time, and then we'll think about that. But the damage has been got done. You know how the situation has been there actually. Now almost all there was no Aircel company now at all. Now there is, as of in India, we don't have the Aircel services. And you know that Idea and Vodafone has been combined, and they have been, and they are also at huge losses now. The Idea and Vodafone are also at huge losses. Now these two companies has been got merged. The only company which was able to withstand as a competitor for Jio is Airtel actually. So what the Airtel has done internally actually, yes, immediately what the Airtel has done is, once the customer has moved from Airtel to this particular Jio services, so they have been identified like what type of characteristics, like how their usage was there. So they analyzed these customers' data actually. So the customers who generally who has been moved from one service provider to other service provider. So those peoples, that is generally what we are going to call it as the customers who has been got churned. This technique is nothing but what we are going to call it as a churn detection is what we are going to call it as. Churn is a terminology generally which we are going to use to identify the customers who has been moved from one service provider to another service provider. So that means they are not satisfied with our services. They have been moved to our competitor services. They have been. So immediately they have been identified. They've done some analysis on the churn customers, like who has been moved. And immediately within 1 month of time, they have got some kind of a new plans. They have got some kind of a new plans what they have been got it actually. Because they analyze, so like which customers are moving. So the customers, let us just an example, just let us an example. The customers who has been started the services not more than, let us say that, which is going to be less than 1 year back. For example, I'm talking. So who has been started our services from the last 1 year, only those customers has been got churn. Only those customers has been got churn. Let us say that the customers who has been using our services from the last 5 years, none of them has been moved from Airtel to Jio. None of them, 0%, completely 0%. So the customers who has been started, so immediately they have started analyzing the data. So they identified which customers are going to be, which customers has been joined from the last 1 year or who has been started using the services from the last 1 year. Immediately they have started giving the plans to them. They identified their usage. So whether they are using the mobile data more or the voice time more or voice calls more. So depending on that, they have done some kind of an changes they have been brought done. And we today we know that A10 and all these things are providing something like a customer specific pricing, right? Earlier it was not like that actually. So it is going to be constant and it is going to be same for every customer. Any customer, it is going to be the same plan. But now it is not like that. I may get a different plan. Some other person may get a different plan. So for example, if the Airtel identifies that, so I'm using more and more data usage, it is going to be. So it will give me more and more offers on the top on the plans, which are going to be having a more data usage. It is going to. So something like that, depending on the customer usage. So these particular telecom operators or service providers are giving a customer specific pricing actually. So this is going to be one of the changes that has been got done actually. So how this is coming? It is coming with the help of some kind of an analysis on that particular customer's data. The Idea, Vodafone, and all these other companies. So immediately they didn't take any action. So what has been happened? We see the result. Still in Idea and Vodafone is still in the. It is currently in. Still, it is going to be in huge losses actually. The only service providers mostly as of now is going to be from Airtel and Jio. These are the only two. This one is going to be gets coming actually, and even Airtel has been started a lot of the other services also like OTT platforms. They are giving some this one, so they are direct to home, so DTH services, so many things, broadband services. All this has been came, so which has been made this particular Airtel as the one of the competitor to the Jio. So what is this particular process is called as, which is going to be nothing but a churn detection actually. So based on the customers who has been already churned, they identified, they have been done some kind of an analytics on that. And immediately the machines are able to, at that time only actually, yes. At that time only the machine learning also has been become popular. The data science came into the existence. So immediately they applied all these particular data science related techniques and what are the methodologies, and they've tried to find out like which customers will churn, which customers does not churn. So once they identified that these customers will churn, immediately they started giving some kind of an offers to them actually. A person who was using the number from the last more than, so if my personal number was there, even I have two numbers are there, almost all one of the number I am using from almost all from around 20 years. So once if I'm using a mobile number for 20 years, why I'm going to be using even I'll talk about them. Even nowadays, even mobile portability is there. So mobile portability says that even without changing your number, you can just change your service provider. But even from 20 years, I'm using the same Airtel number I'm going to be using. Another number is almost all 5 years old. It is going to be using. I'm using the services. So even the Geo offered lot of new features or new offers as came also. I never tried it actually. So Airtel need not to worry about the customer who is there from 20 years of time. So from last 20 years, I'm using the same number actually. From 20 years, I'm maintaining that. Another new number, one personal and one is going to be for office for the students and all these things I'll use it. So that is going to be the other number what I'm going to be. So many customers are there who are using their number from last 20 years also. So from almost all 2003 or 2000, I think I remember 2003 or somewhere I have been got started actually. So almost all 2023, almost all closer to 20 years I'm using the number. So the telecom operators need not to worry about the customers who has been having. So no need to give the offers to everybody. So once if I analyze it, the data, some kind of an information will be there. So this data was given to the machines, like which customers has been churned, which customers has been not churned. So the data was given to the machines. Machines has been able to understand and study the data. So their usages, not only this, there are so many other factors are there. Like they can identify, like even they can identify their particular age, what are going to be the age, because they will have some kind of a personal information, like what is going to be the age, what is going to be the occupation, because at the time of taking the SIM card, they will take some information, like what is the age, what is our work experience, or what is your occupation. Means they don't have a complete detailed information, but at least like who is going to be a student, who is a business person, or who is an employee, a private employer, government employee, something, some kind of an information. So their particular, maybe their informations, etc., will be there. So depending on how much how much talk time they are using, how much mobile data, how much internet usage they are doing. So all that information will be there. Depending on that, they will be finding out like which customers are likely to churn from the services. So that if they identify them, so we can take some kind of a proper decisions and all these things, what we can take it actually. So that is going to be all about, this particular churn detections actually. So data was given to the machines. Machines are going to identify, learn from the data, and the machine will tell you like which customers will be churned, which customers will not be churned. Based on that, the business people can take the business people can take their particular proper decisions and all the things they can take it actually. Sorry, it's going to be telecom, right? So like that, you can talk about a lot of scenarios we are going to be talking about. Like easily, even it is going to be some kind of the medical diagnosis, what we are going to be talking about that. See guys, so in almost all data science is it's almost all everywhere. In every domain, we are having this data science. So don't think that a data scientist is going to work only in a software company only. So it's not going to be only related to a software company actually. Anywhere he can work actually. Because wherever there is a data is there, wherever there is a database there. So why this much opportunities are there for the data science guys? Why? Because is wherever there is a data is there can be a data scientist or a data analyst can be. Like for example, some kind of a production company was there. Even in a production company also a data scientist can, because there will be some kind of a machines data. So there is going to be some kind of a data science team will be there. So who is going to be working and analyzing the data based on that particular, the machines related data, what we are going to be gets working. So whenever a customer is buying a product from a machine from the company, so the machine also provides some kind of an insights. So some kind of an analysis on that data is going to be gets coming. So how much time the machine was running, so how much downtime was there, some analytics, like during it what time it was there downtime, during at what time it is going to be running at a peak production or a peak capability, how it is working. So something like that, all that analytics can be given as a report to the clients. So clients will come to know that, so how their production and everything is going to be happening about that. So we can talk about anywhere, even a kind of an, for example, a civil engineering was there. Even in civil engineering also, we are having the data, their constructions data, their materials data. So if I do this kind of a construction, so how much time it is going to take the complete of the construction, or if this is going to be whatever the components are going to be there, so how much strong they can withstand, etc., we can talk about. So don't think that even a data scientist may work in a hospitals, they may work actually. Yes, hospitals are also going to be having a data scientist actually. So they want to analyze their customers' data. Customers means patients' data actually, occupancy rates, all these things that are going to be doing some kind of an analytics. So it's going to be a kind of a medical diagnosis. So in medical diagnosis, identifying that. So based on some symptoms. So if a patient or a person is going to be having this kind of an symptoms, if they're having some kind of an symptoms are going to be there. If they're based on that particular symptoms, we want to identify whether for a particular medical diagnosis, whether there are going to be positive or whether there are going to be negative actually. a positive or whether it is going to be negative diagnosis. So like if the patient is going to be having this kind of a clinical data, in future, is there any chance of getting any heart attack? Or in future, he is going to be affected with something like a stroke. So something like it, something like that, which is going to be saving decisions actually. So that we can have some proper plan. So if I take a particular, a person has taken a went for a medical test actually. So this is the data. So based on this data in future, is there any chances that he is going to be getting a heart attack? So recommend him. So these are the life changes what we have to do that. Even insurance companies nowadays, in the insurance companies, so we know that insurance company what they will do. So they will give an insurance plan to the customers, and whenever there has been got hospitalized, they are going to pay the hospital bills actually. But nowadays, these particular insurance companies are also taking care about that. So why the patient has to be affected with so and so disease? Today has been taken some kind of an health plan. He has been taken an insurance plan. They have been got taken. So why should I wait? That means why should a company has to wait for till the patient is going to be gets hospitalized? So depending on that particular test, something like that, there is going to be some kind of an health plans. So in future, this person maybe goes into diabetic. So once he was affected with diabetic, so frequent chances are going to be there. Some other health issues will come. Due to that, more and more insurance claims will come from this particular person. So that's why put some proper plans actually. Even nowadays, the insurance companies are coming with some kind of an health plans also that are coming actually. So put these customers into various health plans according to that, so that we can decrease the rate of hospitalizations, so that the insurance that is going to be benefited for both of them. The insurance company is also going to be gets benefited, as well as the patient. The health is going to be gets benefited actually, isn't it? So the insurance companies are looking into that particular healthcare. So that kind of an healthcare plans are also going to be coming from the insurance plans actually. Earlier, it was their activities only just to give the insurance plan. So they take the premium, and when they has been got hospitalized, pay the hospital bills. So instead of that one, why should I make a person? Some cases we cannot say that, like some kind of an accident that cannot be avoided. But some kind of an health related issues they can avoid by giving some proper recommendations and all these things. So that is going to be where the machine learning is going to be gets working about that. So these are the some of the areas actually, guys, like telecom, the medical diagnosis, and apart from that, so many things like even let's talking about some kind of banking, finance related applications actually. So in a banking applications, to whom I have to give the loans, to whom the loan should not be given. A lot of customers will apply for a loan, but everybody will not get a loan. Why? Because depending on their particular data and etc. Actually. So to whom we have to give the loans, to whom we should not give the loans. So it is going to be nothing but in a banking, some kind of an loan or like an credit card approvals. So the banks will always look at. So the banks will always look at whether the customer is taking a loan or not. So once a customer is taking a loan, whether he was having a capability to repay the loan or not. So generally, whenever somebody borrows money from us, generally we'll think about that, whether he was capable to repay that particular amount to us or not, isn't it? So coming to the loan or credit card approvals. So nowadays, who is doing all these approvals actually, guys? The machines will do it actually. So how the machines will do? The past customers data. So the machines will analyze the past customers data, who has taken the loans. So who paid the EMIs promptly and who didn't pay the EMIs promptly. So it will identify that. It will identify that. And based on that, it is going to say that. And based on that, it is going to identify that to whom in the future we have to give the loans. Because some of them are becoming the defaulters who are not paying the EMIs promptly. So like that, we can talk about so many use cases we can talk about. Now it has been went to very higher level. It's a very, very higher level. It's not only for the business perspective. There are so many advanced applications what we are going to be using. So we can talk about so many cases actually, guys, like whenever we get an email. So whether it has to go to the spam or whether it has to go to the inbox. So inbox is going to be nothing but which are going to be non-spam messages actually. Spam messages will go to spam folder, and inbox is going to be nothing but the non-spam messages, which are going to be not as spam messages actually. So they will goes to the corresponding folders or corresponding locations. So who is going to decide that? Actually, the machines has been got decided, because the machines already learned about that. So we have been given the past emails and we have already marked them. So these emails are spam, these emails are non-spam. So the machines has been learned from that particular data actually. So they identified that if these words are there in the email, then it is going to be a spam message. Whenever these kind of words are there, these are going to be the non-spam messages. So according to that, they will be automatically redirected to which is going to be spam or a ham folder. They are going to be gets redirected actually. So many use cases we can talk about them. Like some of them are going to be business point of view, and some may be business point of view. Some may be something like a personal, like an individual recommendations. Actually, what we can say that. So we can talk about e-commerce sites actually. In e-commerce sites, some kind of an product recommendations actually. So to which customer, which kind of a product should be recommended. So product recommendations, what we are going to be gets talking about that. So these are all some kind of an examples where we can use the help of the machine learning. So we can work as a data scientist, you may work for a e-commerce sites, like it may be for Amazon or it's something, some other Flipkart or etc. So it's not that, see, a data scientist need not to be only a software engineer. So you don't become only a software engineer. The roles are going to be different. Data analyst, data scientist. So these are going to be some of the roles what we can just generally we'll see the people who works on this particular data related technologies. So once if we talk about the use cases, there are so many use cases we are going to be gets talking about. So most of that means once if we talk about commercially, if we talk about them, so which is going to be the telecoms and which is going to be insurance, because insurance is also related to the medical, all these things it is going to be telecom, insurance, and it is going to be some kind of an banking, okay, e-commerce. So these are going to be some of the areas which are using a plenty of machine learning techniques to do some kind of analysis and some kind of a predictions actually. So we can talk about a lot of other examples also, even a production, even some kind of an learning. Nowadays, we have got a lot of online learning portals. We have got it actually. So everything is going to be recommended. So once you are an expert, so once if you give your experience and once if you give the expertise, they are going to guide you. Like they are going to give you recommendation. So which course you have to learn or which technology you have to get upgraded. So some kind of an learning, which are going to be some kind of an, even in the education system also, we are going to be doing this action. So like even this person is going to be poor in this particular subject. So give some recommendations. So this person has to concentrate on so and so topics. So when a person attend an examination, so overall marks, fine, it is going to be overall fun. So in which subject or in which chapters he was weak, in which chapters, which concept he was strong. So that kind of an analytics we are going to be gets doing this actually. So all these are going to be some of the few examples. We can say some of the few examples and use cases where we are going to be using a machine learning. But you people may get it down like, sir, if machines can learn automatically by themselves, if machines can learn automatically by themselves, and if they can everything they can learn by themselves, then what is our work here? So you're saying that machines are going to be learning, but how it is going to be happens? So if machine is learning automatically by themselves, so what is our work here actually? Yes. Anyhow, machines can't learn automatically by themselves, isn't it? So there is going to be some input or some feed must be taken place from the users manually. So here, the main thing, that means the main important thing which is going to be makes these machines to learn is the one of the main important thing is going to be nothing but it's an algorithms actually. Yes, it is going to be nothing but the algorithms actually. It is going to be the algorithms is what we are going to be using them actually. Yes, the algorithms. So mainly as a data scientist, so whenever we are learning, whenever we are going through a data scientist or a data science course, we have to go through these particular algorithms actually. Yes, mainly we have to work with these algorithms only, what we have to talk about them. So algorithms has been made this particular data science into a successful. Really, if today, actually guys, whatever the machine learning or whatever the data science you are learning today, it is all due to this particular concept called as an algorithms. So algorithms is the main powerful here. It is not a language. It's not making the language to be making this machine learning. Today, everybody is going behind this particular machine learning, and coming future is going to be all about machine learning. The main powerfulness. So why the data science or why the machine learning has been became successful, and how much this many success stories has been got arrived. It is all due to this particular algorithms. Nothing. It's not the powerfulness of any language. It's not a powerfulness of Python, or it is not a powerfulness of any other thing. It is going to be all about this particular algorithms only. So as part of our training, as part of our course curriculum, mainly our concentration is on which is going to be this algorithms only. You have to have a complete control on these algorithms. Applying an algorithms is different. Understanding the algorithms are going to be different actually. So we should be having a thorough understanding about this particular the algorithms what we have to learn. Algorithms means maybe some people think that about some kind of an algorithms what we have been learning, data structures, etc. We are not learning about those algorithms actually, guys. We are going to be learning about the ML algorithms, and we are going to be having a working about something kind of a DL algorithms, and we are going to be working about some kind of an AI algorithms we are going to be learning. Just an ideas. I'm not giving any detailed information about that, but I'm just giving some kind of an ideas what we are going to be, just an idea about those particular algorithms. So in machine learning, we are going to be learning some algorithms. I don't want to use that much technical, but we are going to be using some algorithms like which is going to be decision trees, and we are going to be using some kind of a linear regression. So these are going to be linear regression, or which is going to be what we are going to call it as k-means, which is going to means k-means clustering, etc., etc. These are the algorithms. Just if you want to know about these terminologies, just go to the online and just verify like what are going to be machine learning algorithms. I didn't given all the algorithms actually, guys. I just given a few algorithms only have been got given. Decision trees, KNN, linear regression, logistic regression, k-means clustering algorithm, Navi Bayes. These are all going to be some kind of an algorithms what we are going to be gets talking about them. Okay, those are going to be some of the algorithms what we are going to be gets uses actually, guys. So after that, if you talk about, so see guys, the term is going to be the same term. Instead of using ML, they uses an AI. AI is going to be uses because ML is going to be part of your AI itself actually. ML itself is going to be part of the AI itself only. We are going to be gets working with them. So if you're learning ML means, don't think that that is something different. It is going to be nothing but a part of your AI. You are learning AI only. What we are going to be gets learning about that. Okay. So this is going to be some of the algorithms which we use as part of the machine learning, what we are going to be using them actually. And whenever it comes to some kind of a deep learning actually, guys, once if you come to a deep learning applications, we are going to be using something what we can say about this particular deep learning. Deep learning is also part of ML. ML is a part of your AI. So the hierarchy is going to be like this actually, guys. AI contains ML, ML contains the DL actually. So if we are learning, all these are going to be part of your AI program only. We are going to be learning actually. Okay, so coming to the deep DL, it's going to be nothing but what we are going to be using is going to be a kind of a complicated networks, what we are going to call it as a neural networks. We are going to learn it actually, guys. We are going to be learning some kind of a neural networks or what we are going to be gets learning. Again, in the neural networks, again, we have a different types of neural networks, what we are going to be having them actually. Again, we have a different types of neural networks, what we are going to be having it actually, guys. So we are having something called as an artificial neural networks, and we are having something called as an a convolution neural networks or a recurrent neural networks, RNNs, etc., etc. We are going to be having them actually, guys. There are something different actually, but maybe you have been never heard about that, but no worries, because all these things we are going to be using in as part of our applications, what we are going to be using them actually. Okay, so anyhow, we have a different types of we are having a different types of the NN, which we are going to be having a neural networks, what we are going to call it as a different types of neural networks, what we are going to be gets using them actually. Okay, so apart from that, whenever it comes to some kind of an AI algorithms, there also we are having a different kinds of algorithms are going to be there. So just we are having something like NQ learnings. These are going to be some of the algorithms what we are going to be using as part of this particular AI algorithms what we are going to learn. But we'll understand what is the difference between ML algorithms, DL algorithms, and AI algorithms. So we'll have a discussion about those particular things actually. But anyhow, first we are going to be gets working as part of the machine learning is the first important thing we are going to be starting with them actually. First, initially, we are going to be starting with the, which is going to be the ML algorithms, which will start, which is a main important part. Once if we complete the AI part, the ML part, then we are going to be using the DL and the AI concepts of after that, we are going to be gets working with it. But don't think that machine learning means are you not going to learn AI? DL, machine learning is also part of your AI. DL is going to be a part of your AI. Everything is going to be part of your AI course only we are going to be learning. So that's why not to have a confusion. So we have named this particular course as a full stack data science and AI. AI and data science is the whatever we are talking about that particular course actually. Okay. So this is going to be the all about this particular what we are going to call it as a full stack data science course actually, guys. Okay. So this is the what I want to just explain you about what is about a machine learning. So today I didn't talk about anything about much about the technical aspects, just what are the use cases and just an higher level information about what is machine learning and how it is going to work actually, guys. Okay. So that is all about the just an introduction part actually, guys. So please attend some 3 to 4 demo classes actually, guys. We'll be having 3 to 4 demos will be there. So you can attend at a free of cost. So whether to join, whether not to join after the course, after the demos, you can decide it actually. If you like our learning, the procedure, if you are satisfied with our course curriculum and etc., then you can register for the course and you can pay the fees and you can join for the regular classes actually. Plus, please do attend some demo classes so that you get some idea like what is data science, what exactly we have to learn. So tomorrow, whenever you join the course, what topics we have to refer, what topics we have to generally check whether these concepts are going to be there. So AI, ML, and DL. So these are going to be the hierarchical what we are going to be having it actually. Okay. So this is all about my first demo session actually, guys. I don't want to put more technical concepts for the today. So if you have any questions now, I can take up some questions or say 9:15 now. So 10-15 minutes or 10 minutes, 5. I think very few candidates are there. Okay, so I can spend you some time, guys, at least some 5 to 10 minutes. I have 10 minutes time is there for me. So if you have any questions, you can just you can post your questions or you can just directly ask. You can just unmute yourself and you can speak, or there is a chat window is there. You can also type it to the chat window also, guys. If you have any questions, feel free to discuss with me, guys.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, hi. Yeah, go ahead. Yes. Yes, Suresh, you can go ahead.
Yeah.
Yes, one by one. Yeah, Suresh, you can go ahead.
Sir,
Yeah.
good morning, sir.
Yeah, good morning,
all of you. Sir, as part of this full stack data science and AI course, we are going to learn ML and DL.
DL and a little bit about AI. See, AI is going to be something different actually. That's why I did discussed about them. So because currently you don't know much about the AI part and DL part. See, in DL and ML, there is something from our side. That means this is what you have to do. We are going to do some kind of a guidance to the machines actually. AI is going to be nothing but like a self-learning actually. Itself is going to learn by itself actually. So that is going to be implemented in some kind of like, for example, so driverless car is an example of an AI. Driverless car is there. But how do you test a driverless car? So for that, we have to have some kind of what we can say is a kind of a virtual setup must be there, or some kind of a simulators must be there actually. So that cannot be done in our classes, right? A driverless car cannot be simulated in our examples, in our application, like in this kind of a classrooms. So those require some kind of a specialized AI labs are going to be gets required actually. There they will do some kind of a simulation. So 80% of your work is going to be ML and DL will be there, and just a few concepts about the AI concepts will be there.
Okay, sir. So okay. How many duration it will take?
How much? Which one total course?
No, duration.
Two?
It's a total days.
The total course you're talking about, right?
Yeah, course duration.
Course duration, it's a 5 months.
Okay, sir.
Because it's going to be contains all these topics now. So ML itself is going to be 1 month, TL itself is going to be 1 month. Mainly it will take there only 2 months it will take it. And all the prerequisites is going to be another 1.5 months will be there. NLP is going to be another 15 days of time. So like that, there are so many topics are there. So many concepts are going to be there. So due to that, it will take some around 4 to 5 months. It will take it actually.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Yes.
Vamsi, hi.
Yes, yeah. I think yesterday you joined.
Yeah, yesterday.
Okay. Yeah.
So Vamsi, I have question.
Yes.
See, see, as I discussed yesterday, I'm completely from the finance background. Okay. So before, I mean, here you said that the algorithms are required before start this AI, ML, and DL.
Yes, absolutely.
So, do you want us go through some algorithms in the Google or something? Because I'm completely finance, even algorithms.
Algorithms, I understood your question. Actually, yesterday already we have been discussed. No,
Correct.
See, these algorithms are going to be nothing but already these algorithms has been already designed. Already they have been created by some mathematicians and some domain experts. Okay. We are going to use the algorithms. Basically, we don't develop any algorithms. Actually, we'll use algorithms.
Predefined, already defined, and
it's already predefined. Decision tree, linear regression, k-means clustering. These are all already they have been developed algorithms. What we have to study here is how they will work, not how to use them. How they will work, we have to understand it. Hope you understood that. Usage is very easy. So if anybody even I can make a 10th class student to apply machine learning algorithm. That much easy it is going to be. We don't write any code. We don't write any logic for that. But we have to understand how it is working. So because we have to control it. If you want to control that algorithm, that as you know that the teachers knows how to train the students actually.
Correct.
So based on that only, whether in which level the teacher has to train, so which student has to be trained, which methodologies, same as it is, we should also know how the machines will learn. Then only we can control that algorithms. Otherwise, the machines will learn and they says that we have been learned, but whether they really learned correctly or not, so how do you decide it? So based on the understanding about the algorithms. So we'll teach that particular, I'm going to teach you how that algorithm is going to work. Like for example, a decision tree is there, how it will work, how the linear regression will work, how the k-means clustering is going to work, how the neural networks will work. So how there are learning so that we can control. We should know how to control this particular algorithms.
But in the real time also, all algorithms are predefined, and we are just going to use
algorithms are going to be, yeah, absolutely, they will be predefined. But sometimes based on your experience, what we can do is we can make a small changes. That means, machines will work, but we can ask the machines to also saying that, okay, you work like this, you work like this. Some small changes we are going to do that. For that, we don't require any much programmatical part for that. We are going to be using some kind of an customization is going to be there actually. Not only I can't make you understand that because you are completely having a zero knowledge about that one. So once you start with an algorithms, you'll understand like why we are understanding the behavior of that particular algorithms actually.
But Vamsi, treat me as a special case because
no. You please don't worry. You don't worry about. That is going to be
I'm not worrying here, but,
okay.
But the thing is that I should be ready before so technically I'm very weak. So I just keep ready myself like before start our class or something. Unless I'm not ready, I cannot catch you in the class.
You start up. You see the start of the sessions actually, so that you can see once you classes will be started, then you will come to know that. Like only thing is being you are completely from finance background and from completely from non-IT, a little bit points will not be gets connected. So you can just jump over that and you can continue. Okay, so you need not to worry about like why it is working like that, why we should like that. You can skip that work and blindly you can remember. Blindly, it's like a blind concept. Skip it and then come here now. So this is going to be what we have to do. So why we are doing this means we can just leave this, skip that particular concept. No need to worry about those things.
And last question.
Yes.
See, my education background is BCom and MBA. So will they consider? Is that okay? That
yeah, it's only expertise. It's your expertise only, not your qualification. Once you see as a fresher only, the qualification, the educational background is important, is required. But once it is an experience or expertise, so there is no concept about the like what is your education qualification, what is your background, all these things. But anyhow, MBA is there, no, that is sufficient. Okay, you are a MBA finance, right?
MBA finance.
That is sufficient.
Fine. Vamsi, can you post your mobile number yesterday?
Yeah, I'll give you. I think already given you, no?
No.
Just a minute.
See, I maybe ask more questions.
Yeah, sure, no problem. We have a group will be created. So in that group, you can have the questions, discussions. We can have it actually.
Thanks, Vamsi.
Okay, yeah. Any more guys? Any more questions? If you have any questions, guys, you can unmute yourself and you can speak, or you can use the chat window also. Okay, guys, I think no more questions from yourself. I think maybe the reason is also going to be this is going to be in year end. So generally we have some very few people will be there generally in the year ends, because everybody is going to be thinking about, let us take a decision, a fresh decision in the new year. So no worries. Actually, at least generally we'll be having 20+ students will be there generally in every batch. Okay, we'll make up the follow-up and all these things will be there. So no worries. Please attend the sessions, the demo sessions for a couple of days, 3-4 days you can attend at a free of cost. So then once you get an idea about that, then you can start our regular classes. We'll start with this. Ravi, it's a course fees is 16K, 16,000, so 16. Okay. Anyhow, my backend team is going to contact you. You can have a discussion regarding that with my backend team. Okay, fine.
And Vamsi, we are not going to change any batch timings, right? Like
you're not sending any.
We are not changing any batch
no change in the batch timing. See, evening 7:30, evening 8-9:30, we started a batch actually. So we have a 10-12 students are there, but you are going up with that particular batch only. We are not changing the particular batch timings.
Because my office timing starts with 9:30 to 6:30. So I set it as a complete. I mean,
yes.
Perfect.
Yeah, it will be there. Actually, see, generally up to now we never encountered this many less number of students. Today there is only 4 students or 5 students are there. But my backend team will take care about that. They will follow up. They will send some. Anyhow, the first day only may not be that much people will be joined. But anyhow, first 2 weeks is going to be like it's a beginning classes only. So people will keep on joining. But at least if we have some around 10-15 students will be there, and we'll regularly start the classes.
Right.
Okay. Fine. Yep. So thank you guys for the today, and tomorrow you please join the same time, same meeting link, guys. I'll see you tomorrow, and to our couple of classes, I'll give you some technical aspects also, so that we'll get some idea like what skills we like to require, what skills we learn as part of our course, and all these things we'll get to know those things, guys. Okay. So thanks for today, and we'll meet up in you tomorrow's class as usual, guys. Thank you all. Have a nice day.
Thanks.
Thank you.